The next one, like I said, is called The Quickening, and that one's about Ty. See him right there. That's Scourge. He was fighting him before Marcus and Dom went into the Hollow, and they didn't know what happened to him. So it turns out that Ty got captured by the Locusts and then put in those coffins and tortured. He was actually he was an islander, what they call, and he was a part of an island on Serra, and he was like this tribal dude. He looks like an Indian or something like that. See him right there? He was like he would kill these soldiers, anybody that would pass through, UIR or COG, doesn't matter. But the UIR actually passed through there and killed a lot of his tribal members, like his family and all that. So he was just mad, and he just wanted to kill everybody. So he goes on this killing rampage, and he's actually aiming his arrow right there, and at Marcus. Like, he comes into contact with Marcus when the COG gets on this island after the UIR. And Ty's gonna kill Marcus, but then Marcus tells him, I'm not the enemy. You do whatever you want, and I'm not gonna BS you. But the UIR are your enemy. They're the ones that killed your family, and we're here to kill them too. So, and he's like, we could use a soldier like you. And Ty's like, So he joins. So that's why Ty joins, and that's why there's this connection between Ty and Marcus. So yeah, there's this thing that Marcus says. He mentions in Gears of War 2 that it's really hard to kill this guy. This guy's like a freaking rock. That he's been faced with death a lot of times, and just nobody can take him down. He just doesn't die. But then he gets captured by the Locusts in Gears of War 2, and he's just tortured like really bad. They put him on chains, like hooks. They put him on chains, and they hang him by hooks connected, like actually in his skin, like connected in his skin, and he's hanging. And they like whip him with like these crazy things and just leave him completely cut up. And he's just not himself anymore. He's just lost it. He says the soul leaves your body when your body becomes a prison, and so he's basically saying that his soul left him a long time ago, even though he's still alive. And that's why he kills himself. He puts a shotgun to his head, kills himself. Next is Harper's story. This is John Harper. This is in Gears of War 2. This is after the Light Mass Bomb. In Gears of War 1, he has, Jonathan Harper also has Rust Lung after that. But then it goes into when they went into the Hollow in Gears of War 2. So they're going down. He goes down there as well. His squad was almost all killed by the Locust. He says that when the Locust were trying to put him into those metal coffins, that he just went crazy. He's like, I don't know if it was the Rust Lung that gave me this power or what, but he just punches a Locust in the face, and like breaks his windpipe by just squeezing him. And he leaves. He escapes the Locust before they could put him in that coffin thing. And he does get out. He actually gets out with the rest of the gears. He gets out of the Hollow. He goes to the surface and survives for a little while until he says that he was able to save a family, like a little girl and a mother, put them on a helicopter and save them. He took the fire that like he got shot because he was saving them, but he really doesn't care. That's him right there. That all he could remember was the little kid saying, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for all of you. And that's basically it. So he's happy. He's like, he's like, at least he didn't want to die in the Hollow. He was like, I want to see the sun again. At least I was able to, die looking up at the sky, and that I was able to save that family. So he's content with what he did. That was interesting. He's not a big character, but I think he is mentioned in Gears of War 2. But yeah, those are the comics. Those are these comics, at least. Those are like I said, they're not. And there are these other ones. These 17, 18, and 19. I did read these already, and this one, the creator of Gears of War already said that this series, I think I can't remember how many parts it is, but it's going to be a pretty long series. I think it's maybe 6 or 7 parts. But he says that this comic is actually going to lead into Gears of War 3, and they actually had to time, like, I think either the 2 last or the last one in this series after Gears of War 3 came out, because it actually goes into Gears of War after the game. So this series starts, leads into Gears of War 3 and ends after Gears of War 3. So I'm looking forward to reading this series. This one's called A Prelude to Gears of War 3, Dirty Little Secrets. This is part 1. Part 2, I think, comes out in October or something like that. This is basically just goes into the ending of Gears of War 2. So it wasn't that big of a deal. And then issue 7 is a Pendulum Wars story. It's called Unsaid, and this is pretty cool because you get to see Marcus when he's like super young. You guys want to see Marcus when he's like freaking 17 or 18, and he's with Carlos Santiago, Dom's older brother. He was him and Marcus were inseparable. They were like brothers. This is his best friend. Look at young Marcus, how cute. Could you guys see him right there, Phoenix? He's like 17 or 18 right there. Helena Stroud comes out. That's Helena Stroud, Anya's mom. And Marcus's dad, Adam Phoenix, right there. So this is an interesting comic. If you want to read it, it's pretty cool. There's going to be more parts, I think, more issues to it. Another character that is important that comes out in the books. She comes out in this when she was young. Her name is Bernie. They call her Bernie, Bernadette. Bernie Mataki. That's her when she was young. Right there. In the books, she comes out when she's old. But that's when she was young. And it seems like the Pendulum Wars comics that are coming out, they don't continue. Because there's this one, Promise Me, a Pendulum Wars story. And I thought it was going to be like continuation to this one, but it's not. It's a different one. It's a different story. So I was like, what? So it seems like they're just coming out with single comics of the Pendulum Wars, different time periods. But yeah, that's the Gears of War comics. Missing those 3, 14, 15, 16. But when I do get them, if I do get them, I hope I do. I will talk about them. I've actually looked online, and it looks like they're I don't think they're a big deal, because I think another one is like a single comic about a person, like another gear, kind of like the Harper story or the Ty story. I think 14 and 15 are like that. So I don't know. I don't know about the 16, but yeah, I'm gonna try to get them anyways because I want to have them. So that's the Gears of War comics, or at least most of them. If you guys, I would recommend reading them. If you guys don't like to read, then whatever, don't. But if you do, this one's really cool. But yeah, that's basically it. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I think when it comes to the storyline, to the Gears of War storyline, the most important resource that you could have to the background stories and all that don't come from the comics. They come from the books. The comics are kind of just like adding to it, or kind of introducing some characters and some kind of backstories to them. So they are interesting, but the books are the ones that actually give you a lot of information as to the background of the Gears of War world and all that. So the books are the ones that are more packed with goodies. So I'll be going over the books as well in another video. Those are the comics. I wanted to get those out of the way. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed that. If you guys have any questions or anything else to add, put it in the comments, and I will talk to you guys later.